guys, welcome to another video. My name is Arunika. I'm a final year medical student studying in Sri Lanka. If you are new to my channel, hi, please subscribe to my channel. You guys have been asking me to film a video on study tips for some time now, and I finally decided to make one. I actually asked my friends for some tips too, so I've compiled a list of things that I personally found useful and effective, and also some tips are from my friends. If you are interested, please keep watching. I want to make it clear that it's been about 9 years, almost 9 years since I did A-levels, so I'm pretty sure so many things must have changed by now. So whatever your teachers say, they are the ones who go for paper marking after all, so stick to that because I'm pretty sure their advice is more valuable than anything I can give you guys. I should also add that I'm not from state medical faculty, but as somebody who had done exam after exam after exam for so many years, there are definitely so many things that I've picked up and learned along the way, and I'm super excited to share these with you guys. So without further ado, let's move to step number 1. So tip number 1 is to be methodical. Like that? It's very important, especially for competitive exams like A-levels, to have like a proper plan, in my opinion. So unless you're just starting, in that case it's fine to just start from somewhere and build it from there. But if you're somebody who studies regularly, it's better to have like a certain idea or a plan about what you need to cover within a week or a month or whatever it is that works for you. So what I used to do is I used to have like a topic list so that I know how vast the syllabus is and what tips that I need to prioritize, and also when the exams are near, it saves me a lot of time because I know the topics that I've done and the ones that I haven't, so I think it's pretty useful to do that. So the tip number 2 I have for you guys is to be confident and believe in yourself. I mean, even I'm guilty of this sometimes, but sometimes we compare ourselves with others, with our friends, and the thing is, everyone has their own limitations and strengths. It's very useless to compare yourself with someone else because obviously you are different, and don't doubt yourself. I mean, I'm guilty of it. There are like plenty of times that I feel like maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I don't know as much as my colleagues do, or I mean, it's totally normal to feel insecure, but at the same time you need to know that as long as you work hard, you can be that person that you want to be. And if you don't score enough for a certain test, or if you don't get the result that you wanted, don't be discouraged. I mean, it happens to everybody, and honestly, it doesn't define you. You can always try harder the next time. Don't be too hard on yourself. What you need to do to achieve what you want in life is different, so don't compare yourself. And also know that even if you made a plan, just because you missed a few days of studying, or just because you couldn't finish all of the things that you planned, it's fine. It happens to everyone. It's okay to take breaks. Yannako! Yeah, එකක් කිව්වනේ. යන්න. නකෝ. ඔව් Do not compare yourself to others, your friends especially. Everyone has their own limitations and strengths. Just know your strengths, and you can always work on your weaknesses, which leads me to my next point, which is tip number 3. Find what works for you. You can watch a million YouTube videos on how to study, and you can ask your friends for advice, your parents for advice, but at the end of the day, what's important is finding what works for you. It takes a lot of trial and error, to be honest. I mean, just because something works for me doesn't mean it will work for you. I know lots of people tell you different things, to do this, to do that, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, but the thing is, it's different for everyone. Everyone is different, and you need to find what works for you. For example, I'm not short notes person, even though lots of people tell me to make short notes. I never benefited from them. I rarely make those actually. And also, I don't really like it when people read things. I just can't learn that way for some reason. Maybe because I'm somebody who reads really fast, and when someone else is reading and their pace is much slower than mine, I get super frustrated inside. I don't know how to explain it, but some people I know benefit from someone saying it out loud to them. Work for me. So for me to understand something, I need to just read it on my own, at my own pace. So my point is, you need to find what works for you, which will take a lot of trial and error to figure out at first, but you will eventually figure it out. Don't be discouraged when people say that you are not supposed to do it this way or that way, because as long as it works for you, it works for you. I should also add that one great way to know whether you grasp the concept really well is to try and teach it to someone else. Try to explain whatever you learned or studied to somebody else, because that way you will actually know whether you have actually understood it or you just superficially read it and maybe most of the things aren't in your mind. And if you can do that, you know you've nailed it. So tip number 4 I have for you guys is active recall and spaced repetition. This is actually something that's been scientifically proven to work. So basically what it means is that whenever you study something, make sure that you actively recall it, which means that you need to ask yourself a question or just not look at your book and see if you can recall whatever you just read, the theory, the concept or whatever in your head. So as a method of active recall, you can make questions or just do past paper questions, just anything that makes you actively recall whatever you studied. I think back when I did A-levels, we were asked to do MCQs and SCQs regarding that particular topic that we just studied. So I think that's also like a method of active recall. And the next part of this is spaced repetition. What that means is that in order to commit something to your long-term memory, you need to regularly go back and revise the concepts or the theory or whatever you study. Even I don't do this that well, but it's definitely something, it's definitely the only thing that works in terms of committing something to your long-term memory. So it's very useful if you could add that into your study routine. So tip number 5 is practice makes perfect. This one's an obvious one. If you want to be good at something and be able to do something fast, you need to keep doing it over and over and over again. This is especially important when it comes to exams like A-levels, where you only have like a limited amount of time to answer a certain number of questions. So there's not really enough time to pause and think and work out the answer in your head most of the time. So it's very practicing makes it a lot easier. And I think back when I was doing A-levels, we were advised to do past paper questions 3 times at least. Just time yourself and practice to answer questions within that time. For example, in local A-levels, I remember those organic conversions. The more practice you have, the faster you can work it out. And one great tip my friend somebody gave us to make sure that you know the conversion of alcohols, how to make alcohols and how to convert alcohols into other substances like ketones really well. Most of the time you can figure out most of the organic conversions, because most of the time it's an intermediate step in the conversion that you are given according to her experience with it. So you can actually test it out and let me know, let others also know whether it works in the comments. She'll be very happy if it does. Also, one other thing, make sure you do all your calculations using that stupid logbook. I don't know if things have changed, but back when I was doing A-levels, we weren't allowed to use calculators, so we had to do all the simplifications using the logbook. And make sure you always use the logbook instead of the calculators. Even if you're tempted to use the calculator, don't use it. Final step that I have shared with you guys is to not get too stressed. It's easier said than done. Certain amount of stress is actually healthy, because that's what drives us to get things done. But the thing is, if you are too stressed, it has like the opposite effect on you and you cannot get anything done at all. At the end of the day, know that exams are just exams. Do not think that exams define you or at an exam result defines your future, how successful you are going to be. And just because you couldn't achieve this goal that you set for yourself doesn't mean that you're going to be unsuccessful in life. By this I don't mean that you should take your level seriously or that you shouldn't be studying. You most definitely should be studying and working towards your dreams and goals. Work hard, but at the same time don't tie your entire identity and self-worth to this one particular goal that you need to achieve, because at the end of the day none of those things are important. What's important is you and your well-being and your mental health. Exams are great, I mean if you do well even more great, but even if you don't do well, life just goes on. You can always try it again the next time, or try harder, or do something completely different and still be successful. So first know what you want and work hard for your dreams, but at the same time have an open mind. Always have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. Just know that when one door closes, several others will eventually open. So that's all I have for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you still haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I wish you guys all the best, and I hope you guys achieve whatever you want to achieve in life and become super successful. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Other substances into alcohol. How's that? How's that? This way you remember the